Interested in trying yoga, but a little intimidated about walking into a big class, or maybe even concerned you might hurt yourself? You're not alone. Hi, I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Shane. Welcome to Inside the Asana, a guide to a safer, smarter yoga practice.
Before we begin, we just want to recognize that yoga is a complex and ancient tradition. It encompasses philosophy, ethics, meditation, mantra, and so much more.
Although this guide focuses on the physical practice, remember that yoga is so much more than what you see on the mat.
Virabhadrasana II, or Warrior II, is a standing pose that opens the hips and strengthens the legs. Let's build it.
Come and join Carolyn in the basic shape of Warrior II. From there, we're going to refine the pose into Virabhadrasana II. And it all starts with the feet, or the foundation of any good standing pose. We want to have a nice, long base. The front toes point toward the short edge of the mat. The back toes point toward the long edge of the mat, or maybe slightly turned in if you need that for flexibility. From there, we want to have the front heel aligning with the middle to the heel of the back foot. Once we have the feet aligned, we're going to bend into the front knee to bring the knee directly over the ankle, or maybe a little bit toward the midfoot. If you need to adjust your stance to allow that to happen, feel free to do so. From there, the thighs are rolling out and back to help open up the hips and keep the knee in alignment with the foot. The pelvis is going to be brought into neutral so that the low back feels very long and there's space for it. We can climb up the spine from there so that the shoulders stack directly over top of the hips. Then we lengthen out long through the arms, even all the way out through the fingers, and turn the gaze down the front arm. Once you've got that, anchor down through your front heel, push away through the outer edge of the back foot, and you have Virabhadrasana II.
Now that we know what Virabhadrasana II looks like on the outside, let's go inside. Virabhadrasana II is a standing strength hip opening pose. That means that pretty much all the muscles in both of your legs are active and getting stronger. But there's a focus on the quadricep muscles, so the muscles that start above the knee and run up towards the hip. In the back leg, this muscle is really strong to maintain the length, and in the front leg, it's active to actually maintain the bend. Now, to keep the knee from falling inward, you're activating through your glute muscle. That's the muscle that externally rotates the leg at the hip. Your abdominal muscles are also really engaged to keep your spine long and maintain your shoulders over your hips. And your deltoid muscles, which are those nice V-shaped muscles at the top of your arms, are what's working to keep the hands level with the shoulders. As a hip opener, we're getting the opposite effect. So the glute muscles are pulling the leg into external rotation, which means the inside of the leg is getting a stretch. This is the adductor muscle, the muscle that close our legs. So on the front leg and the back leg, you're feeling an opening there. The back leg is also getting an opening through the hip flexor. The hip flexor is the muscle that bends our hip. So because this is pulling open, you're getting a stretch there. And you're also hitting a nice stretch through the hamstring on the front leg.
As we begin to wrap things up, there are a few important things to remember, starting at the foundation. One common mistake that happens is having the back toes turn out too far. This puts unnecessary pressure on the inside of the knee. Bring the back edge of the foot parallel to the short edge, or even toe in a little bit to make that more comfortable. On the front foot, oftentimes these toes get turned inward. More on that in a moment. Moving on from the feet, climbing up to the upper body. When the front leg starts to get tired, it's very common to begin to lean forward. Make sure you're drawing yourself back so shoulders are directly over the hips and the spine is long. And in speaking of the shoulders, so many of us get tight in the neck, particularly when we're working hard. Try to relax the shoulders down from the ears, creating space and relaxation. Returning back towards the base of the legs, one of the most common things to watch out for is the front knee collapsing inward. That often happens when the toes are turned in. When the toes are in alignment, engage the glute to draw the knee back in alignment with the middle of the foot. And the last thing to watch out for is a sway back. This often puts too much weight forward and will make you feel unbalanced. To correct this, think about lengthening the lower back by engaging the abdominals in the front. This will create space, allow the shoulders to be over the hips more, and you'll feel a lot more stable and relieve any tension in the lower back. Lastly, there are some modifications that can be done for this pose, depending on the energy level that you have and the flexibility that you have. If you're very flexible and very strong, feel free to really lengthen out the base, so long as you can keep the knee directly over top of the ankle. If this isn't for you, then you can always shorten the base, making the pose more comfortable, the thighs a little bit higher at a steeper angle, which will make it easier to hold, but we're still creating that same alignment of the knee over the ankle. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed. If you want to catch more Inside the Asana videos, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Plus, if you want a quick reference guide to some of the most common asanas, check out the description below where you can find a link to our free PDF.